We going? We're live?
And
Yes,
we live.
sir.
Welcome back, Mancave Memoirs.
A safe space for unfiltered male conversation. If you guys are just now checking in, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you can know every time that we're going live or we post new content. We will be doing a lot of new giveaways coming up in this season, so we don't want you guys to miss out. So without further ado, my name is Tony Tong, also known as Urban Demand. This is my distinguished colleague here.
What up, everybody? BT, B Trill up in this thing. Mancave Memoirs podcast. So we about to get into it, man. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tapping in. We're going to get right to it. It's Sunday. Ooh, I didn't charge my watch. But it's Sunday. Top of the week. Back to school. It's big, big time of the year for a lot of the students as well as the parents. So it's about to kick off. It's not the first. It's the
Open house
second.
is tomorrow. Oh yeah,
Correct.
today's the first.
Correct. Today's the second,
But
but it's the same thing. But yeah, open house tomorrow. School starts Wednesday, I believe, for the county schools. So it's just a busy week. We got one makeup game for soccer this week because we got rained out last week. So shout out to my soccer team and everyone that shows up on this Thursday because it's going to be, like I said, school back in. So hopefully we have enough to play a game and show up. But
I seen a comment that was going around online the other day. I was going to ask you what you thought about it, but it was a debate that asked the question if a man is on child support, is he still required to buy school clothes? And this is a big debate. I definitely have some insight I'm going to put on, but as a father yourself, I wanted to kind of see how you thought about that. Required and expected.
Here you go, starting early. All right, so run it by me again. If a man is on child support,
is he still required or expected to provide school clothes?
I mean, I would say he should. I would say that he should contribute. From what I understand, the child support goes to the well-being, the groceries and the living space and all that. But we all know school clothes and back to school is a different thing because that's like a whole separate chunk of change that has to be put out. You know what I mean? Aside of the normal things that the child support would take care of. So I would say that yes, he should contribute. Even if he's buying some stuff on his own. You know what I mean? And he's bringing it, not necessarily giving extra child support money or saying, "Hey, meet me at the mall and we gon' half it up at the register." You know what I'm saying? So
that was actually a good response. I kind of share similar sentiments. I think that as a man, I would want my child to go to school, not be picked at, have clean, fresh clothes. I mean, every kid looks forward to the first day of school and having some new clothes on. So I think that it is an honorable thing for a man to assist, not completely take care of the school clothes because just like I said, you made the child together. So I think that he should assist because I would assist with the school clothes because I don't want my child getting picked at or having dirty clothes. But required or expected, I think he is expected to do what is legally required based on the law. So I think that once you take that co-parenting relationship and put it in the hands of a judiciary board or a court or something like that, and they ordain that these are the requirements of your assistance with this child, I don't think that you can expect any more than just that. Now, if he does more, that's honorable and he's, a great guy. But once you choose to put the the folks in your relationship with your co-parenting and they put this requirement on what a man should provide, I think that at the bare minimum, that is what's required. Anything more is honorable and appreciated, but I think that it's kind of wrong for a woman to put a man on child support and then expect him to go above and beyond and do more when you probably could have potentially maintained a healthy co-parenting relationship without child support. But now that you've instilled the child support in there and they say you're only required to pay $150 a month or $100 a week, that's what he's legally obligated to do. So of course we could hope that a man does more for his child, but when we talk about expectations and requirements, we really can't expect or require more than what the law has required. So I think child support and the decision of that is way before the school year. I think these type of conscious decisions need to be made in the bedroom. So if you're laying down with a person that you have to question whether they're going to assist with the care of your child, maybe you should have better discretion with who you give your body to. I'm just saying. Moving on. It's a very eventful week this week. Yeah, like you said, first day of August. Yes. We've been waiting for this month for a year.
Yes.
It's finally here. No bars intended unless I came back and said, my dear. Boom. No, but on another note, it is Investfest 2026. Earn your leisure. Going down this weekend, 7th through the 9th. I'm pretty excited.
I'm definitely excited.
Is this your first time attending?
First time attending an Investfest, not an EYL event. But yeah, definitely first time attending an Investfest. I had all the intentions to go about, 2023 or 24, and it was just one of them,
wrong timing.
Yeah, the timing just wasn't there. I should have went. Probably would benefited a whole lot by going. I couldn't even tell you what the lineup was, but I'm looking forward to it. They got the headliners: Steve Harvey, Serena Williams, and Nick Cannon, and then a plethora of other accomplished individuals.
Pull this lineup up right now: Serena Williams, Steve Harvey, Nick Cannon, Milan Harris from Milan de Rouge. I'm a fan of hers. Something about that New Orleans accent. Of course, you got Troy, Rashad, and Ian. 19 Keys. I'm excited about 19 Keys. Very intellectual brother. I like to hear him talk. Keith Lee, food critic. John Morgan from Morgan & Morgan Insurance.
Oh, snap.
He's a billionaire. I've seen him on Hard Knock Life. You got Julian Brown. He's the guy that made Plastiline, so he's the guy that can run cars off of recycled plastics. So it'd be interesting to see him. Lala, Joey Badass. Who else we got? Terrence J. Jim Jones. I'm excited about that. I'm already picking out people I'm gonna try to interview. Oh, I broke my meta glasses, by the way. Well, that's a whole other conversation. Big Bank is gonna be there.
Big Bank on fire right now.
By the way, Big Bank does have the hike on Sunday too. I think I'm gonna stay for that. Do the hike in the morning, then go to the event. So if y'all in the Atlanta area, check in. Big Bank does a lot of health and wellness stuff outside of the podcast platform. So big shout out to him. Alicia Little, I've been seeing her all over the internet with her AI workshops. The Hitmaker. What was his rap name? We know him as a producer. Young Berg. That's right. Portia Williams. She's going to be there. Ray Daniels. My guy, Ray Daniels. David Shan.
Hey, Chris Sane. We passed him, but shout out Chris Sane.
What does he do?
He's a stock investor. Options.
Let me see where I passed him at.
Right there.
Chris Sane, stock investor. Deeper Than Sports. Big shout out to him. Who else we got?
A lot of people.
Ace Metaphor.
People we may not know, but that are very popular to the viewers. So we look forward to the Investfest. Looking forward to seeing all of these
socialites and
socialites
entrepreneurs.
and entrepreneurs and personalities, like ourselves. You know what I mean? There'll be people that'll be looking forward to seeing us as well. You know what I mean? So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe.
Because we will be going live and doing a lot of content from Investfest. I'm excited
from
about
Atlanta,
that.
period.
Yeah, so make sure you tap in, subscribe to the page, turn the notifications on. We will be going live, so just make sure that you tap in. It will be a very eventful weekend, 7th through the 9th in Atlanta, Georgia. If you can be there, make sure that you take advantage of the opportunity. Investfest.com. You can purchase your tickets there. And you might be able to see us, make some content together, do some interviews. Moving on, I was just on something. I'm on Google.
Yeah, you definitely will see us in the building. We don't totally have the attire together. We might coordinate so we'd be more recognizable for everyone. More memorable as well. You know what I mean? Not on no Dumb and Dumber type vibes, but y'all understand what I mean.
For sure. What you got for us today, Trillionaire?
Shout out Mayan Boy, YouTuber Mayan that came through last episode.
Big shout out to Mayan.
Been seeing a lot of his content on my feed. You know what I mean? I started following him, just getting a lot of that youthful energy coming through. So shouts out to him. He came through and blessed us with a interview. You know what I mean? And definitely did business with the location, with the establishment. So that was dope, man. Shouts out to him. Go check that episode out too. It's the episode. It's on there. It's up there. Y'all go check it out. So let's see. We got back to school. We got Investfest. We got college football starting. That's very big here in the South. It's very big all over the country, but very big here in the South with Florida, Georgia, Alabama. Just being part of that triangle of you got Crimson Tide, Alabama Tide, whatever they're called, Roll Tide or something like that. And then you got Georgia, and then you got the powerhouses that are the Hurricanes, the Seminoles, and and the Gators. I was gonna say the Gainesville Gators, the Florida Gators. So yeah, that's very big, man. Because I was just on the porch today, stepping outside to get some fresh air, and I'm looking at the patio. Shout out Aaron, a good friend of ours. I seen went over to his spot and seen how they had the patio set up in the back and had the TV on the back porch and all that. And I'm just very inspired to do the same, because once this weather cools down and once the sports start kicking off, the baseball, the pennant race, and college football, and then eventually NFL, I'm definitely looking forward to relaxing and kicking back and having a cold drink, watching some sports after I'm done everything I need to do. That's not going to be the priority. That's going to be the reward for the day.
Absolutely. Gotcha. I'm really not much into sports myself. I only watch the championship games, unless it's like local sports, high school football, stuff like that. I'm more into just watching the winning games. I don't know. I seen Myron Golden. Big shout out to Myron Golden, mastermind, $1 million mastermind mentor. He spoke to me about sports, and it changed my whole idea of watching sports. But you have people who are unhappy with their circumstances and their lifestyles, who are watching people that they don't know, probably will never meet, play a game with the ball to the degree that they argue with their peers about who will win this game. And they're watching people who are actually winning in life while they're unhappy with the shape that their life is currently in. So they watch this to seek refuge for an hour, debate with their peers, only to go back to a life that they're unhappy with. And that just shifted my whole paradigm of, we're watching people who are winning in real life, and we're arguing with our peers about who's going to win these games, and we're going back to a life that most of us are unhappy with. And I'm not saying everybody's unhappy with their life, but a lot of people I know are not satisfied with where they're at, and they probably feel like they can be doing more. So because of that, like, I have stopped watching TV. I don't watch sitcoms. I don't play video games. I don't watch professional sports. I mean, socially, I might go watch a game with you or something in the bar with some of my peers, but yeah, I'm not doing parlays. I'm not doing sports betting. I'm not looking at the numbers. I'm not doing none of that, man.
Yeah, shout out to Fresh and Fit, and that's a dope show. But yeah, I understand where that statement, the basis of what they're saying. However, there are people that do get lost in sports and lost in the stats and lost in, just the theatrics, the celebrating the game and this, that, whatever, and then have to go back to a regular life, and then they're complaining, or not complaining, but arguing with people at work. You walk into the break room and you're hearing all them talking about, they know all these player stats, number for number, what I'm saying, and all this stuff, fantasy football, and hell, even like you said, playing games, and they're online playing and whatnot. It's not that serious for me. You know what I mean? I have, so that what he said, it doesn't align with me. But I like the show and I like the content they put out. But for me, it's definitely not that serious. I definitely think that there's a time and a place for the parlays, and there's a lot of people that utilize those outlets, those things, and people that make some money, you know what I mean? And it's just like, they watching these games and they understand sports, and it's like, these people may make, I don't know,
$1 million, $100,000.
Whatever, if you're making $1 million, your life probably isn't that bad to when you're watching sports to get away from your life, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, people that fit the description, that's like in it like that, you know what I mean? Like, people that's putting up the parlays and this, all that stuff. It's like, but see, what Myron Golden, or not Myron Golden.
No, I'm talking about Myron Golden. You're talking about the other Myron Fresh Fit. I'm talking about Myron Golden. He's a religious leader too.
Myron is the one that said that about sports.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out to him too. I like his content too. But what he was referring to is that whole, ancient times, when they would put the sports in play and the gladiators would fight and stuff, and it was like, this is what would distract people while the politics were being handled. They'd give people a lion chasing, 10 guys around and this, that, whatever, and it was like, that was the basis of what sports was for, like, to control people and things like that. But
you think that that's changed?
No, I don't. And I don't think, but see, at the same time, it's like,
it's a distraction mechanism.
It's a distraction mechanism in some aspects if you're in it that deep. You know what I mean? I know people that are in it that deep. You know what I mean? But, somebody like me is like, and I'm not, no better than anyone else, but somebody like me, it's like, it's not that deep for me. It's entertainment. You know what I mean? It's like, I work real hard. I need, if I lived close enough, I would go to the games. You know what I'm saying? I would go to the game, like, to be in an atmosphere with, 50,000 people, the energy, you know what I mean? Like, that's a charge. That's like a, you know what I'm saying? That's like it's like going to a Valdosta game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you may be more into the actual sport that's going on because it's a local, that's where you went to school and it's more of an emotional connection. But, at the end of the day, if you're, especially if they're winning and that shit's turned up and the band's playing and this, that, whatever, it's like shit. You're gonna leave there. Your energy level's gonna be higher when you leave there. You know what I mean? Because you know,
Just the experience.
yeah. And it's like some people are in it for that. Some people are really in it for all the stats and all the nerdy stuff and like you say, forgetting about their real life and you know.
Mm-hmm. Let me see what we got in the news today. Fauci. Fauci is all over the news, along with the online debate between vaxxers and anti-vaxxers. It's been very interesting myself. So for those that do not know, Fauci recently had a congressional hearing and where he was asked a lot of questions regarding how he handled COVID requirements, the implementation of vaccines, things of that nature. And he pleaded the fifth 111 times on the stand. And for me personally, that's a lot. And I think that for the sake of transparency with the constituents and the American people, I think that politicians and health professionals should never feel the reason to invoke the Fifth Amendment unless they feel like something that they say might be legally or criminally damaging to them, to the point that they might, be arrested or be brought upon charges. And I just think that for people in political realms and people in the medical field, transparency is really, really big for us to trust the people that are in elected positions and the people that run these different department heads. So you got that, but it's just interesting, man. It's interesting to see the debate between vaxxers and non-vaxxers. Myself personally, I was an individual that chose to not get the vaccine, and I just felt like that was in the best interest of myself and my family. I do know that to be clinically proven to be effective and efficient, you need to go through 7 years of clinical evaluation. So the fact that they rushed this in 2 years did not sit well with me. And then when we look at the big players in the space of the vaccine, you got companies like Moderna and Johnson & Johnson going through a multi-billion-dollar class action lawsuit for their products being linked to ovarian cancer. So if their vaccine was linked to cancer, could we be surprised? And you got Moderna, the youngest company on the block, has never created a clinically proven vaccine ever, but now they're in the race to do this. So I just wasn't too fond about being injected with experimental drugs that could potentially have harmful side effects, even more harmful side effects than the illnesses that they were looking to potentially cure. So I know a lot of people who were vaccinated that still caught COVID, and COVID did them even worse, whether or not they passed away or that they caught other type of illnesses and stuff like that. So, I personally feel like COVID is real. It was definitely a real disease, but I think the actual seriousness of what it potentially could do was manipulated and weaponized for an agenda. I'm not going to speculate or start conspiracy theories on what that might have actually been, but I just think there was more to it than what met the eye. But that's just my take. What about you?
Hit the like button, hit subscribe, turn on the notifications. I'm glad we're out of the pandemic and we are in new times, the new normal. Because it was a wild time, man. It was a wild time, and yeah, just seeing all of the fifth, pleading the fifth during the trial, that was very shocking. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how this plays out because this was a very impactful, the decisions that I guess he was ahead of, making the decisions. He was the head of the decision-making department. I'll put it like that, for better lack of words. There were some impactful choices being made over those past 5 years. So
Yeah, and you brought something back to my attention too about the diaries. What did you say happened to him? Did he wrote about it in the diaries?
yeah, they said he had some illnesses that came about after he took his shot live or something like that to prove that it wasn't it was safe. Mm-hmm. But yeah, his illnesses that came about were just documented in his diary. It wasn't nothing that he shared publicly.
Yeah, so think about that. When we're looking for transparency in our elected officials, the heads of these departments, and then you go on camera and take one of these vaccinated shots to prove that it's safe, only for you to get extremely ill, blood clots in the lungs, to where you have to go get medical treatment. But the only person that knows that is your top of the line doctor in your diary, but that wasn't made public information, and they didn't want to tell people that. Why? I'm not going to begin to speculate. I'm going to let you guys ask those type of questions. So, what else do we got going on in the news? Spider-Man dropped yesterday.
Yeah. I'm really disappointed that they pulled the Spider-Man Beyond the Universe, Beyond the Spider-Verse. Me and my daughter actually went to go see it the weekend it dropped, and it stayed in the theaters for like 2 months, and we waited and waited and waited for it to come out on streaming and to come out. And then I did some research, and it turns out Sony had just pulled the movie altogether. Like, don't know why.
So they pulled a Spider-Man movie. You can't find it anywhere right now?
Mm-mm. It's no longer available. It's called Beyond the Spider-Verse. And that's
Is it a cartoon or is it live action?
It's the cartoon, okay. It's the cartoon version, because they had the Enter the Spider-Verse, then they had Across the Spider-Verse, and then they had Beyond the Spider-Verse. And it came out 2023, and we went to go see it in the movie theater. And I was actually able to watch it on a link that I had, and now it's been removed because it wasn't available for DVD. It never came to streaming. It just left theaters. And
did they ever say why they pulled it?
Something about Sony, the rights, something like that. But yeah, it was fire. It was very fire.
What?
But yeah, I want to see the new one. I guess it's a real live movie, not a cartoon. Like, and I don't know, man. I think I'm kind of what's the new word? Well, not the new word, but what's the word they use now? Fatigue. I mean, I'm not necessarily superhero fatigue, but I'm definitely Spider-Man and Batman fatigue. You know what I mean? Because
there's a lot of those movies. To the point I can't even remember what happened in a lot of them. Back in the day, you might have had a trilogy, or you had maybe 4 or 5. But for example, like Fast and Furious, I can't tell you what movie what happened in outside of the very first one. That's the only one.
That's the only one I've ever seen. The first one. I wasn't even.
There's 9.
Yeah, I've never seen any of them other than the first one. I've seen bits and pieces. I'm not really into the trendy movies that everybody goes to see, but that's another conversation. But Fast and Furious. What's the other movie we were just talking about?
Spider-Man and Batman.
Spider-Man. Yeah, it's like shit. What in the last 5 years? How many Spider-Man movies that came out? Probably 10. Like, they were dropping them 2 a year at one point.
They were.
You know
at
what
least
I mean?
5 to 10.
Cartoon, a real one. Long Way From Home, Homecoming. You know what I'm saying? Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, The Incredible Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Adventures of Spider-Man. It's like, bro.
We're Spider-Man'd out.
We are. We really are. And it's like, but they know that shit's a moneymaker. And it's like, hell, if I had my paper right, I'd dang put some money up and license Spider-Man and do some shit with it.
Have you seen the trailers for Street Fighter?
I seen that little clip of 50 Cent as Balrog.
They got a new clip where they throw Ryu in the cage and Blanca's in there, and they make Ryu fight Blanca.
Like, see, I would like them to have more character development in those stories. You know what I mean? Like, so you could really understand. Because back in the days when the game, you know, you actually had more character, you know,
Backstory.
backstory, yeah, back in the game era. But now we're in the movie era, and it's just like, of course, the older crowd generation already knows, so we don't need all the backstory. But it still would be nice if they would put a little bit more effort into that. You know what I mean? Just for the sake of the new people watching, and just, you know, for us too, because, you know, we would like to know that y'all put a little bit more effort into it. You know what I'm saying? For the generation that grew up on it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to, you know what I'm saying. I'm saying it a lot.
You know what I'm saying? Once again, make sure that you subscribe and turn on the notifications. Real quick, got to give a word to our sponsors, Travel with Tony TV. Make sure that you go and follow that page. I let you know about all the interesting travel experiences that I have, and I'm in different states every month. Last month, Myrtle Beach. We did Spokane, Washington. We did Cleveland. We did Dallas. We just did a lot, and all of that can be found on that page. But there's also a page that you need to be looking at called Read the Room. I'm gonna let my guy tell you a little bit more about that.
Yeah, that is on TikTok, man. Y'all check it out, man. We running up the TikTok, man. Listen, you know, you got to learn to read the room. When we all, you know, the writing is on the wall, and that's why I say read the room. And I'm gonna leave it at that. But it's on TikTok, for real. And the best in the flesh is my Instagram, so y'all can definitely follow me.
Thing. Yeah, did you hear about the In-N-Out shooting? In-N-Outs in Idaho, I want to say. Was that where it was? Yeah. Idaho.
Yeah, I heard about it earlier, man. That's unfortunate, man.
A gunman killed 3 people and wounded 7 people outside of In-N-Out in Idaho, and he was miraculously taken down by a hero armed civilian who just happened to be strapped, and he seen what was going on, and he was able to be the armed standby who saved the lives of other people who are out there. So big shout out to that outstanding civilian who took matters into his own hands. So
is he still alive?
I'm not sure. I'll have to tap into that a little bit more.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. You know, as security in America tightens up, you know, whether it's those black cameras in the road, or whether it's you know, just cybersecurity, or just monitoring the activity of people and things like that. You know, people really have to be in supreme crash out mode, you know, nowadays to go do some things, because now it's like, unless it's, you know, orchestrated by, you know, higher power, you know what I mean, it just seems like things that are just you know, serious. Well, you know, anytime someone's hurting someone in violence and, you know, mass shootings and all that, that's always serious. But it just seems like you got to really be in super crash out mode nowadays with the heightening of technology and security and all that.
Unless you're a fall guy. But that is a theory for conspiracies. So we don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Unless it's you know, orchestrated by a higher power, then that's that. But, you know, for the most part, it seems like I mean, if I put it like this: if you don't have a plan, if you don't plan to get out, you know what I'm saying? Like, or how can I put it? If you're not planning to get caught, those are the ones that are crashing out. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I got you. In other news, something that's very interesting, I'm sure you might have seen it, but then again, you've been having a social media break. But the vast majority of every state in the United States within this country has decriminalized or allowed for either medical or recreational use of marijuana. But in this unprecedented shift, now the state of Texas is making possession of THC products a felony within the state.
Damn.
That's interesting. So while we're having freer rights, dispensaries, recreational medical use all over the country, Texas is making it a felony to possess THC products, whether they're vape pens, gummies, tree, flower, whatever. I don't know. I see some people online speculating that it's a ploy to remove voter rights from citizens. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But what I do know is that for Texas to be such a beautiful state, that would definitely be a reason that it would make me not want to visit as often as I once did.
That would be extreme to make it a felony to even possess any THC.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to push for that?
That's going in. I'm going to pull it up and show you.
Bro, that would be wild.
Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. In Texas, possession of most hemp-derived THC products will now be a felony offense effective July 31st, 2026. The state officially banned synthetic and manufactured THC in summers like Delta 8, Delta 10, THCP, and THCA concentrates, classifying them as Scheduled 1 controlled substances.
So basically, go scroll back up. So basically, the synthetic joints stuff now?
Or how would you know what is synthetic and what's not? Let me pull this up.
I mean, so basically, they can't sell it in the
oils,
smoke shops
concentrates,
anymore.
and gummies is a felony, regardless of the amount.
Yeah, basically, they can't sell it in the smoke shops anymore.
No, not at all. While these manufactured extracts are treated under harsh penalty group rules, standard marijuana flower laws remain separate. Possession of 2 ounces or less of flower remains a Class B misdemeanor, and the total weight of infused products like gummies or vapes can quickly result in a felony charge. So yeah, you might be right. It might just be the synthetic THCs and concentrates, waxes, carts, things of that nature.
Because I know if you got caught with like a vape at an airport, that's a felony. Any state.
That's true?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well.
A THC vape.
Damn, I do it a lot. I do it a lot. Let me push back over here. What else was we looking at?
Yeah.
I seen an interesting theory that later on this month, that, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. It is said that there is a rumor online that the Earth will lose gravity for 7 seconds on August 12th, 2026 at 14:33 UTC time. This claims to be a viral hoax, but we do not know. It's all over platforms like TikTok and Instagram, so y'all go pull that up. That we will lose gravity for 7 seconds. I don't see how that's even scientifically possible, but the video that is circulating online claims that there's $89 billion that NASA has put out for Project Anchor to try to keep people inside and to help humanity survive this anomaly. So y'all go check it out. Tell me what y'all think about it. I'm not sure if I'm going for it, but on that same day, there is a total solar eclipse as well on the 12th. So they might have something, I guess, interacting with each other. I'm not sure.
So what? Giant earthquake, I guess? That's what
I don't know. I was trying to picture it. So that means if we're outside that we would float for 7 seconds and then fall. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, man. I think unless you're an elderly person, you could probably take that fall. If that was to happen.
Bro, you're not even thinking He's not thinking, bro. That means everything.
Yes.
Build your soda machine. Your chairs. These chairs. Everything would lift up. Buildings would lift up. That's not. There's no way that can happen, bro.
Another interesting thing that I've been seeing is that
cars and stuff would just should be
falling on you, maybe.
Should be. I haven't seen that on whatever.
Y'all go ahead, check it out. Another thing that I've seen is that there is like boxes of ticks that are being found all over the United States. I'm watching videos of guys who own farms. They're just finding these big boxes of ticks all over, and there's a theory that it's a coordinated effort to spread ticks across farmland in order to create a widespread red meat allergy. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it is very interesting. I've been seeing a lot of it, and there is a lot of bioengineering that's taking place right now between ticks and mosquitoes. Bill Gates got this mosquito thing going on in South America where they're releasing experimental mosquitoes out into the wild. Strange. No one man should have all this power, but that's neither here nor there, man. I want y'all to check it out. What else do we got going on?
I don't know, man. Look, all I know is if you're still watching, which I'm sure y'all are, hit that like button, subscribe, go ahead and leave a comment in the comments and let us know what y'all want to talk about, man. You know what I mean? We just chopping it up right now, you know, back to school, Investfest, a little bit of wild conversations that have been going on. You know, we just really just covering, just trying to cover all bases for y'all as we get back into the swing of things, approaching the fall. Labor Day coming up real soon, so get your white together. I don't know what that whole thing is.
You're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day.
Oh, okay.
Labor Day is a sad time sometimes for me to think about. Some odd few years ago, I think the year was 2022, we were looking to do this Labor Day extravaganza in Waycross, Georgia, and we booked the infamous Honeycomb Brazy. And 2 weeks before the concert took place, he was arrested, and he spent the next few years in jail. And I guess why it's so depressing now is because he is now out all over the internet, and we still can't get a date or a refund for the 10 bandos that we put up for this concert. So
he still had the same team?
I don't know, man. We didn't go through the label. We went through his road manager, and now his road manager. Big shout out to D-Boy. I'm probably going to put his number somewhere down here. Big shout out to him for not responding to my calls or texts after that man came home from jail. So if you bought tickets or you were interested in seeing him in South Georgia, you can call him, shoot him a text, and tell him that's fucked up that he ran off with the bag and they're not honoring the show. But no, I don't know, man. It might be. I haven't really seen Honeycomb Brazy doing any show, so he might be on like a, probation or a parole type of situation, prohibiting him from doing a lot of things. But if you see this, man, we need that show. We really, really need that show, or that show.
Is he out of Houston?
No, he's actually from Alabama, but he's in Houston a lot because, of course, Mob Ties, Rap A Lot Records. So he spends a lot of time out there. But he is actually from Alabama and Birmingham, Alabama, I think. Yeah, man, but
I just saw, what's his name? Charleston White, and I know he mentioned, I heard him mention that name, so I just didn't know if he was from Houston. Okay.
What else? Let me see, is there anything else that I see on here to touch bases on? Man, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, man. I advise all of y'all to pay attention, ask questions, Don't just go for whatever you see on the internet. That even goes for the stuff that we're talking about, man. Ask questions, do your own independent research, because there are a lot of things that do not make sense that are going on right now in the economic forum, in a political forum, in an international forum. And the best thing is for you to do your own research, because there's a lot of distractions and mechanisms for distractions that are put into play so that we don't ask questions and we don't unite. But things are getting a little weird. Things are getting pretty funny. You guys, I'm sure that you can feel that for yourself, man. But ask yourself why. Question everything. That's the biggest advice that I can give anybody, is to question everybody and everything, because it's not always what meets the eye.
That's a fact.
But until next time, if you have anything else that you want to tell the beautiful people out here, we've been running for 44 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead and follow All Eyes on Media for sure. Definitely look for both of us at Investfest. Definitely like, share, subscribe, comment. We'll catch y'all on the next go round.
Until next time, make sure you be great on purpose. Peace, love, and happiness.